Hello, it is Wednesday, November 16th, 2011 at 4:44 p.m. Central Standard Time. I want to show you that there's a sequence of earthquakes that have occurred, or at least that's the way it displays here on IntelliCast, the ones they've chose to post. I've got the overlay for earthquakes turned on, and when you hover over each one, it'll give you the date and the time. The first two we're going to look at occurred on November 15th. First we're going to look at South Dakota here by Rapid City. At 9:31 there was a 3.3. If you go down here to western Nevada, at 9:44 there was a 3.1. That means there was 13 minutes in between. I'm basically disregarding California because there's so many earthquakes in here, so any pattern in there will get mixed up. But these are ones that are just going through this central area here, this kind of a loop. Actually, I just noticed something interesting. Look at this, and this make a pattern. They're all equally spaced. Interesting. But anyway, back to what we were doing. Now the next ones I'm going to be telling you about occurred on November 16th, starting here in Oklahoma. We're going to look at go to the yellow one because I didn't look at the gray one. But at 5:17 UTC there was a 2.3. If you go up here to eastern Utah, another one's come up, so it's not as obvious, but the yellow, you want to look at the yellow. That's similar. The different colors are similar time periods, like a 6-hour type time period. So this is a 1.6 that occurred at 5:26. So that's only 9 minutes in between the two of these. So the one in Oklahoma was a 2.3 and the one in Utah was a 1.6, and they occurred 9 minutes apart. Then an hour and a half later, if you go up here to Seattle, at 7:05 you're going to get a 2.0. Then if you go down here to southern Montana, at 7:14 you're going to get a 1.5. Now that's only 9 minutes apart between here in Montana and up here in Seattle. 2 hours later you go over to Idaho here and you've got a 2.8 occurring at 9:07:25. And then if you go here right next to it at 9:07:47 you get a 1.5, and that's only 22 seconds apart. The interesting things about these first three that I've told you about occurring on the 16th is that you've got 9 minutes apart, 9 minutes apart, and 22 seconds apart, and each of them is 1.5 hours and 2 hours for each sequence. And each of the sequences had a 2 point something occur first, and then a 1 point something occur second. The next two, this is not as clear because there's like 29 minutes in between, but still it's in the range. If you go into Tennessee here, you've got a 1.5 occurring at 14:27, and if you go back up here to northern Washington, another orange one, you've got a 2.3 occurring at 14:56, which is 29 minutes apart. So these are kind of far apart, so maybe there's something in here that would be closer. But I'm just looking at these just to keep it simple. Because if you start matching them all up, there's so many that occur here that the matching gets lost. But these are clearly segregated. And then the last one is if you go to central Utah, this orange one here, you got a 1.5 at 15:44, and then if you go all the way over here to New Hampshire, you've got a 1.6 happening at 15:57, which is just 13 minutes apart. So from what they're showing here, there is some kind of duplicity when where two go off at the same time or within a short time period of each other. And why that would be, I do not know, but it is a pattern that I have actually seen before, but rarely do I see this many, all in one area. So I hope that was clear. God bless you. Have a good rest of the day.